You want me to tell you? It was God. God put it there. He put it there to show you a preview of a coming attraction he has for you. This whole time, you've been imagining stuff. It was God been showing you something he got for you.
This Les Brown that you see, I did not know he existed. And I tell you that you have greatness within you. You have the ability to do more than you can ever begin to imagine.
Whatever happens, happens. It's all a part of God's plan. The Lord knows you by name. He is so eager to share his infinite love with you. He wants you to feel his love so that you will embrace your life's plan and cherish the gift that it is. There will be times when earthly hopes for material rewards, for changed circumstances, for loving relationships, for health, for repentant loved ones, even for lots of sleep and easy will be dashed on the rocks of despair. And then it will be important for all of us to rely on spiritual hope, on the trust we have developed in a loving and all-wise heavenly God. God gives us hopes and dreams for certain things to happen in our lives, but he doesn't always allow us to see the exact timing of his plan. Although frustrating, not knowing the exact timing is often what keeps us in the program.
A lot of pain in my life, no more than nobody else. I just had a lot. But I learned along the way, everything that's happening to you is God is processing. Every difficult moment you're having, he just processing it. That's all he's doing. Everything you're going through is preparing you for what you ask God for. And if you need to be tough when you get to where you're going, then he gonna toughen you. If you gotta be more caring along the way, he gonna let you have some trials come your way that's gonna have to produce that in you.
I feel you, I've been there. But can I be honest with y'all? When I was homeless and a high school dropout and I had absolutely nothing, I couldn't do nothing but trust him. I'm telling you, it was trust that got me through that abandoned building. It was trust that got me through those academic struggles. It was trust that got me through my marriage. It was trust that told me to hold on to this ministry. It was trust after all the stuff I've been through, all the stuff I saw, all the stuff I've done, quite frankly. Not just the stuff that happened to me, the stuff I did to make some of the stuff that happened to me happen to me. I did it.
I've got to talk to the attorneys. Do you have the money? No. Will they give me 3 months? No. What about 2 months? No, Les. They want the money in 7 days. Oh my God. Let me call you back, I'm not sure. And I walked the floors thinking, God, how could this happen to me? I gotta figure this out, huh? I gotta figure this out. It seemed like the days are just ticking off. Thursday, I had to call them and let them know. They called me, Les, do you have the money? No, I don't. Friday, you have to leave. The sheriff will be there. You're gonna have to leave, Les. They're gonna take my house. What about my down payment? You lost it, Les. You lost it.
We spend a lot of time in our lives waiting because change is a process. Many people want change, but they don't want to go through the waiting process. But the truth is, waiting is a given. We are going to wait. God puts dreams in our hearts and writes a destiny over our lives. And if we trust him enough to take him at his word, we will find ourselves on a journey toward the fulfillment of that dream. Unfortunately, the path that takes us to the promise is always wrought with thickets and thorns. Nothing worth having ever comes easy or without opposition. Storms will come, lions will roar, and our fears will be confronted. God allows the path to be difficult because he intends on refining us and preparing us for our place of promise. He is intent on extracting from us that which our enemy would love to leverage against us.
But your gift is the thing that you do the absolute best with the least amount of effort. That's your God-given gift, and everybody has one, and God gives it to you at birth. You don't have to go anywhere to discover it. It's not in the water, it's not on a mountaintop, it ain't hid under a rock. Your God-given gift is instilled in you at birth. If you pursue that as opposed to your passion, there lies your greatest chance for success. The problem with people is we don't put.
You're not one thing. God loves you so much that he may have given you a preference for one, but you can do all things through Christ. So when you leave, if you're married, don't say I'm a D. If you want to keep your marriage, you better become what you need to become in your marriage. Become all things to all people that you might win some.
So you got to become all things. So sometimes you need to be a driving and forceful. You do. You need to put your foot on. But then sometimes you need to go from being, look, do you see it? You could be driving forceful. You could take that thing all the way down the mile if you want to. You are a D. You could be mild. You ain't always got to be driving and forceful. What if you had a car and it was in gear 5 every time you got in the car? You be trying to run it and jump in that sucker. Come on. You start with at neutral and then you decide based on where you're going if you need to be in 1 or 2 or 3 or 4. Some of you are letting your natural person just take over all the time.
Everything that happens to you, there's a lesson in it. There's a lesson in it for you. If you look at it, whatever happens to you, just look at and view life that you're a student of the universe and say, what's in here for me to learn?
You know, I've been going through a lot lately. Somebody sent me a plaque. You know what it said? It said, on the days that I feel like I'm not gonna make it, on the days that it feels like I can't endure anymore, I think back on my track record for surviving all my bad days. And so far, surviving all my bad days, my track record is 100%. It ain't about the money. I know a lot of very, very rich people that's miserable, not happy at all. I can bet you most of you are happier than most of the people I know. And I know some very, very wealthy people. And money don't make you happy. It helps you through a lot of situations. Really, other than that, it's a lot to come with money. But if that's your desire to get more of it, you gotta ask God for it. If you wanna be happy or successful, you gotta ask God for it.
We are sometimes confused, and we overthink that God is trying to hurt us or punish us when someone departs from our life. In reality, He's likely giving us the greatest reward we could ever receive. Your soul is your mind, your will, and your emotions. When the Word gets rooted in there and begins to change your mind, it begins to heal your emotions and turn your will away from self-will and onto doing the will of God. Living out of one's own soul is equivalent to staying in the wilderness. Emptiness can be scary. It reveals our insecurities, telling us we are alone and validating our fears. But with God, emptiness doesn't equal loneliness. During those times when we don't have a clue which direction to go, we can let the stillness push away all distractions, so we sense God's presence more than ever. From a spiritual point of view, this earth is a prison where sinners from heaven gather. If they try to enjoy their life to the fullest and get everything they want, then it is not a self-reflective attitude that sinners must have in prison.
Behind every moment of adversity in your life, there is a blessing and a lesson. Every moment of adversity has those two things. Pain always leaves a gift. Always. It's not going to change for you. It's COVID for everybody. This ain't just you. Your world 42 ain't finna crumble because you got to change your career. You have to change your career. You just said it in the question. Maybe it was time for you to move on. Somebody sent me a plaque today, one day that said, don't worry about the people that God has removed from your life. He saw things you didn't see. He heard conversations you couldn't hear, and he made moves you wouldn't make. And that's it. So when COVID happens, people get, oh, this door closed, my business closed, my job closed. When a door gets shut, all you gotta do is walk up the hall. It's more doors. This is God. God He's everything.
So if you ain't going to God, you gotta go to either narcotics, you gotta go to alcohol, like you gotta go to something. You gotta go to other humans, like you gotta go to something. Like no man is an island. So you gotta have a vice or you gotta have a Lord.
Yeah.
And for me, he said, the Lord is my shepherd, I shall not want.
Yeah.
I took 41 kids to the Super Bowl, 8 chaperones. So I'm standing there, a lady walks by. I think she might be a little drunk, so she's got chicken nuggets and fries, bunch of ketchup on it, and she drops, her meal all on the ground. Then I dashed and got paper towel and got the chicken up. And then, it's so funny, people who weren't helping start helping when they see me start to do it. Like, yo, you can't do that. I was like, why can't I do that? You E.T. the hip hop preacher. And I was like, no, before I was E.T. the hip hop preacher, I was mopping floors, and I was taking out trash.
Yep.
And that's what got me here. So we got to keep doing.
Yeah.
Like being the #1 motivational speaker didn't make me the #1 motivational speaker in the world.
Here's what I discovered that happens to you in life, that you will go through things, and while you're going through them, you can't understand why it's happening to you. But after you go through it, you get back and you look at it and you say, oh, now I understand why I needed that lesson. Have it ever happened to you? Raise your hand. Has it ever happened to you that I couldn't understand it then, but after I got through it, then I saw that was preparing me for bigger and better things. As you go through the challenges of life and you look at it and embrace whatever comes to you, don't run from it. Step toward it. Don't try and duck it like most people do. See, most people want it easy. See, easy come, easy what? Easy go. See, but when you go at what you're going to deal with and you deal with the difficulties of it, when you handle those hard things close at hand, making those hard decisions right now.
God's plan is always the best. Sometimes the process is painful and hard. But don't forget that when God is silent, He's doing something for you, and you will see soon. If you found the video entertaining, give it a big thumb up and subscribe to the channel.